Well, it's about damn time.
A queen is never late. Everyone else is simply early. And by everyone else, I clearly mean you.
Whatever you say, Aleister. Now if only Her Majesty Queen Violet would grace us with her presence.
Good morning, my lovelies.
Oh, what are we having?
Really, Vi, already, we're supposed to be working.
Oh, hush, Theo, it's wine o'clock somewhere. Anyways, we all know that alcohol sharpens my mind and helps with the memories, and this is what we're here for, after all.
Let's just get on with it, shall we? I don't have all day. The usual order? Alright, here we go.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
When shall we three meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who bravely fought against my captivity. Say to the king the knowledge of the broilers thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood. The merciless MacDonald of swords, arms, and self-swords supplied, and fortune on his damned quarry smiling showed like a robust whore. But I was too weak, for brave Macbeth, while he deserves that name, like valiant minion carved out his passage, till he enseamed him from the naves of the chaps, and fixed his head upon the battlements. But the Norwegian lords surveying vantage began a fresh assault.
This Smith is not our captain, Macbeth, and Banquo?
Yes. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go get him, sergeant. Whence camest thou, worthy Ross?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom leapt in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, curbing his lavish spirit, and, to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness! No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and, with his former title, greet Macbeth. What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Well, that was new.
But we did it! We remembered!
Yes, and your fashion sense has not improved over the last 600 years.
Violet, my love. Have you ever come across the phrase, the pot calling the kettle black?
Wait, what's wrong with this?
Well, how about we start with your hair?
Quiet. Do you hear that? Do you hear the drums? Oh no, not again. Not so quick.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land.
Thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine.
And thrice again to make up 9. Peace, the charm's wound up.
Hail, cousin.
Foul and fair day I have not seen.
How forest called to forest? What are these so wild in their attire?
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, if thou can look into the seeds of time, speak then to me.
Hail, Banquo, blessed in Macbeth, and greater.
Hail Banquo, not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none, so all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Stay! You imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I'm Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence. Speak! I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles, as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Yeah, but they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor went it not so.
To the selfsame tune and words. Oh, hail, cousins!
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And, for an earnest of a greater honour, he bade me, from him, call thee Thane of Cawdor.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives, yet, for under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did lie in the rebel with hidden help and vantage, I know not, but treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. Thanks for your pains. Greatest is behind. Do you not hope your children shall be kings?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you onto the crown. But 'tis strange. Oftentimes, to win us to our harm, instruments of darkness tell us truths to betray us in deepest consequence.
This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success? If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth make my seated heart knock at my ribs? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, and nothing is but what is not. If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
Let us toward the king. think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having weighed it, let us speak our free hearts each to other. Till then enough. Come, friend.
What was the point in remembering that?
That can't have been everything. There must be a reason why they want us to.
Please, when have they ever needed a reason? They do what they want, and God is forbid anyone ever tries to stop them.
Darling, the older you get, the more you sound like them. If you're not careful, you start looking like them too.
How dare you, you vile old toad! If I went to see Monsieur, I tell you, I'd cut your tongue out and feed it to my cat.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoken
My
one.
father's cousin, and Banquo. The sin of my ingratitude, even now, was heavy on me. Only I have left to say, more are you due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
Sons, kinsmen, thanes, we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. From hence to Inverness and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor that is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So, humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor, he is for so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. 'Tis a banquet to me. Let's after him.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let light not see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burnt in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Worms thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. But do I fear thy nature? 'Tis too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, heart, not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear to have thee crowned withal. What are these tidings? The king comes here tonight. the raven himself is hoarse, that broke the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my felt purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Great glance, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan arrives tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where a man may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom. Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
Oh, won't you look at his face? He looks perfectly shocked.
Now that's what I call a power couple. Not the greatest fan of the Goffimo vibe, no offense, Theo.
Hey!
But she definitely makes up for both of them.
Focus, children. What in the hell is that supposed to mean? Leave all the rest to me. So how about you shut up and we see where this goes?
If it were done, when it was done, then it were well. It were done quickly. This blow might be the be-all and the end-all here, but here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who against his murderer should shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath been so clear in his great office that his virtues will plead like angels against the deep damnation of his taking off. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition.
Why have you left the chamber?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would now be worn in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Is thou drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting, I dare not wait upon I would?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. who dares do more is none.
When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. I have given suck, and now how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
We should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, his two chamberlains will lie with wine, so convinced that memory shall be a fume. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan?
Will it not be received? We've marked with blood the sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their daggers. That they have done it.
Who dares receive the other? As we shall make who grieves and clamour roar upon his death.
And settled. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. Whilst I thread, he lives, words to the heat of deed to cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets. Hark! I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done. My husband!
I've done the deed. This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one that laughed in his sleep, and one cried murder.
Consider it not so deeply. These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
He thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cordo shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll do no more. I'm afraid to think of what I've done.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. If he do bleed, gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
hands are here. They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this, my hand, will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color. But I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a ringing. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this steed. Get on your knight's gown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy ringing, and would thou couldst.
I need a moment. I need a drink.
Me too.
Trouble, trouble, toil and trouble, fire, burn and cold and bubble. Something wicked this way comes.
Here's knocking indeed. If a man were porter at Hell's Gate, he'd have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Oh, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come hither, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never at quiet. What are you? This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil portrait no further. I had thought to have let in people of all professions that tread the primrose path to the everlasting bonfire. And on. Pray you remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing until the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It makes him stand to and not stand to. And in conclusion, equivocates him into a sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night. Is thy master stirring? Our calling has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I'll make the bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night was so unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death.
Yeah, it was a rough night.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue no heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is you say, the life?
You, His Majesty.
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason. Banquo and fleas! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this damn you sleep death counterfeit and look on death itself! Ring the bell! Oh, Banquo. Banquo. A royal master's murdered.
Dear Death, I pray thee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees are left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are. And do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
The royal father's murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, have done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which, unwiped, we found upon their pillows.
Yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral, in a moment? No man. For ruin's wasteful entrance, there the murderers, steeped in the colours of their trade, their daggers unmannily breached with gore. Who could refrain? Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet at the hall together.
Well contented.
To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the falseman does easy. I'll to England. There's daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody. Therefore to horse, and let me not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself, when there's no mercy left.
Cousin,
Is't known who did this more than bloody deed?
those that Macbeth has slain.
What good could they pretend?
It was abhorrent. Malcolm, Prince of Cumberland, his own son, is stolen away and fled, which puts upon him suspicion of the deed.
Thriftless ambition, that will draven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth?
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to buy.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu.
Farewell, cousin.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth.
Duncan? is in his grave. Treason has done his worst. Nothing can touch him further. Come on, gentle, my lord, sleek over your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so, I pray, be you. We must lave our honors in these flattering streams and make our faces visits to our hearts, disguising what they are. Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's cup is not eternal.
Oh, thou marvelst at my words. But hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
Thou hast it now, King, Cawdor, Glams, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou hast played most foully for it. Yet, it was said that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, why, by the verities on thee made good, should they not be my oracles as well and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
He is our chief guest.
Tonight we hold a solemn meeting, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me. To the which, my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
Is't far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill the time twixt this and supper.
We hear our bloody cousin is bestowed in England, or in Ireland, not confessing as cruel parasite, but filling his hearers with strange invention. Adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Our fears and Banquo stick deep. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head, they placed a fruitless crown, no son of mine succeeding. If be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, to make them kings, the seed of Banquo, kings.
Oh, no.
Well, it's not our fault.
Didn't you listen to what he was just saying? He actually named us.
But it's not our fault. It's not our fault, right?
No, I don't think it is.
Who's there?
We are men, my liege.
I am one, my liege, whom the veil blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I am another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune that I would set my life on any chance, to mend it or be rid on't.
The three of you know, Banquo is my enemy, and so is he yours. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love. masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Must be done tonight. I require a clearness. And with him fleeing his son that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Fly, Fleance! Fly! 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 Thou mayst revenge!
Lords, ladies, others, you know your own degrees. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
See they encounter thee with the heart's thanks. Be large in mirth.
There's blood on my face. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Oh, thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he is good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the non-peril.
Fleance is escaped.
Comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, but now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes on his head.
The least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the tear.
Get ye gone. Sweet remembrancer. Now, good digestion weighed on appetite and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed were the graced person of our Banquo present, who, may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise.
Please, my good lord, what is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, his highness is not well. Rise.
No, sit! My worthy lords, my lord is often thus and has been from his youth. Now pray you keep seat, the fit is momentary. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Are you a man?
I and a bold one, that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces?
Prithee, see there. Look, lo, behold.
Fie for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden time, too terrible for the ear. The times have been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there's an end. But now they rise again.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. Drink to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. Avaunt, and quit my sight, and the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, 'tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence!
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night.
Good night, and better health attend His Majesty.
A kind good night to all. You may leave.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which. How sayst thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
There's not a one, but in his house I keep a servant feed. Tomorrow I will, and betimes I will, to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I'm bent to know, by the worst means, the worst.
You lack the season of all natures. Come well to sleep. We're yet but young indeed.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it. Answer me.
Speak. Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call them. Let me see them.
Come high or low.
Thyself in office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me, enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold and resolute, laugh to scorn. The power of man, for none of woman born, shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance, double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies and sleep in spite of thunder.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who threats, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee until great Birnamwood to high Duncan hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much. Will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show his eyes, grieve his heart.
Come like shadows, so depart.
Where are they? Gone.
What's your grace's will?
Are you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipates my dread exploits. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babe, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line.
Things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Mary, who is dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. How it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight and by his rage the two delinquents tear that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he has borne all things well. Macduff lives in disgrace. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, so that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
Why, how now, Hecate? You look angrily.
Have I not reason? How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, Olympian of all charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part or show the glory of our art. And, which is worse, all you have done hath been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. I am for the air. This night I'll spend unto a fatal and a dismal end.
How can this be?
I don't understand.
What had he done to make him fly the land? His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom, to leave his wife, to leave his babe from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. All is the fear, and nothing is the love.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he's noble, wise, judicious. Cruel are the times when we are traitors, and do not know ourselves when we hold rumor. From what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. My lovely cousins, blessing upon you.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers now to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Poor monkey, how thou talkst.
Look, mother.
Bless you, fair dame. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. Be not found here. Hence, with your little one. God preserve you.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable and to do good sometime I count a dangerous folly. What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He is a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What, you egg? Young fry of treachery.
He has killed me, mother.
No!
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. I grant a bloody, luxurious, avaricious, deceitful, sudden, malicious smacking of every sin that has a name.
O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see their wholesome days again? My ever gentle cousins, welcome hither. Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
What's the nearest grave?
Less of an hour's age doth this the speaker, and each minute seems a new one.
And do my wife and my daughter, the time is not bettered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them. Now is the time of help. You or I in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight, to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good steward, and 10,000 men. An old and a better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer the comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babe savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner were on the quarry of those murdered deer. To add the death of you.
What, man? Now pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the overwrought heart and bids it break.
My daughter too.
Wife. Daughter. Servants, all that could be found.
Wife too.
I have said.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh.
Disputed like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine for slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long, that never finds the day.
Yet here's a spot. Out them, Spot, out, I say! One, two. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and a feared. What need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him? Three or five had a wife. Where is she now? What, will his hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
is the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten its little hand. Wash your hands, put on your nightgown, look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo is buried. He cannot come out on his grave. To bed, there's someone at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Doctor!
Greetings. I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterward seal it, and again return to bed, yet all this while in a most fast sleep. She has light by her continually, 'tis her command. Her eyes are open, but their sense is shut. How she rubs her hands! It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue this 1/4 of an hour.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In her slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Well, heaven knows what she has known.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More need to the divine than a physician.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood, removed to Dunsinane, I cannot, taint with fear. What's the boy, Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. The mind I sway by, and the heart I bear, shall ne'er sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. Where goest thou that goose look, that cream-faced loon?
There's 10,000 soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face, or at thy fear. Lily-livered man, what soldiers? Patch.
The English force, so you please.
Satan, I'm sick at heart when I behold this push. May cheer me ever or deceive me now. I've lived long enough. I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Go send more horses. Scare the country round. Hang those. Talk of fear. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Thou couldst, doctor, find her disease, and then purge it to a sound and pristine health. I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again.
Aye, my good lord.
Aye, my good lord. Bring it after me. I'll not be afraid of death and pain. To Burnham Forest, come to Dunsinane.
We're right from Dunsinane, away and clear. Profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand, the chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this behind thee?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bow and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery and report of us.
It shall be done.
We'll learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it. The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we own.
Your leafy screens throw down. You, worthy cousin, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Very well. Do I but find the tyrant's power tonight, let me be beaten if I cannot fight.
Make all the trumpets speak, give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
No. No, no!
It wasn't our fault. It was their choice. Why do we have to remember?
We didn't have to let it happen. We didn't have to make it happen.
I get it. I get it now.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come! Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Oh, what's that noise?
It's The cry of women, my good lord.
Yes. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Our scab. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Life's but a walking shadow. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story, quickly.
Gracious, my lord. As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Liar, slave!
Let me endure your wrath, if it not be so. Within 3 miles may you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham Wood do come to Duncan. And now a wood comes towards Duncan. They've tied me to the stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he? Was not of woman born. Such a one am I to fear, or none.
Macbeth. The devil himself could not pronounce a name more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, abhorred tyrant! With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakest.
Thy swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou be slain, and with no stroke of mine my wife and daughter's ghosts will haunt me still, I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear thy staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbettered edge I sheathe again indeed it. There thou shouldst be, by this great clitter when of greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? As I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
have avoided thee. But get thee back, my soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloody a villain, then terms can give thee out!
Thou losest labour. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole and underwrit. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold enough.
Macduff is still missing.
Is he dead?
Hail, King, for so thou art. The time is free. I see thee compassed with their kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices my desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland.
My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that flat the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of the step butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands, took off her life. This we will perform, in measure, time, and place.
We've been doing this forever.
What?
Watching what happened over and over?
What do you mean? It's only been 2 hours.
What were we doing before that?
Before I said good morning and...
Before that? They killed us, remember?
They did.
They've been showing us this.
We keep forgetting.
Over and over.
Forever.
And every time, you are the one who figures it out.
Please, no.
Good morning, my lovelies.